Okay, this says solve the systems by substitution. We didn't call it substitution, but we've actually done this before. So we just need to solve these systems. How would we solve it? Well, what we did was, is we always said we've got to get y equals and then set them equal. Or we've got to get x equals and set them equal. This is just a little shortcut. Don't get confused by this. We could always do that. We could always say, well, I want y equals. So I'm going to subtract x from each side of this. And I get y equals negative x plus 9. Then up here, I have y equals 2x. So I would say 2x is equal to negative x plus 9. What substitution is, it's very similar, just a little shortcut. Substitution says, well, y is 2x. So when I see a y right here, since y is 2x, I'm just going to put 2x in there instead of putting that y in there. So I would have x plus 2x, because I put that 2x in for y, since y equals 2x, equals 9. Let's show that this is the same thing. So if I were to solve this one, I would have to add x to each side, and I would get 3x is equal to 9. Divide each side by 3, x equals 3. If I did it this shortcut way, look, x plus 2x is 3x equals 9. I got exactly the same thing. Over here, I just had to add the x to get there. It was one step shorter. Same exact thing. If it confuses you, just do what we've always done. One more step won't hurt you. But I'm just showing you what this would do. You don't have to do both. Pick one. Now we're not done. We only have x here. We need to find y. So we know that x is 3. Pick one of these to solve for y. So y equals 2x. Y equals 2 times 3. Y equals 6. So our x is 3 and our y is 6. So the answer to this system would be 3, 6. Okay, I'm going to solve number 10 using the substitution method. Again, it's just a shortcut. So we have y equals negative 3x. Well, if y is negative 3x, I'm just going to take this negative 3x. I'm going to put it in where I see y. So I have 4x plus negative 3x equals 2. Well, if I have plus a negative, that's just 4x minus 3x equals 2. 4x minus 3x is easy. I just have 1x left. 1x is just x. So x is 2. I already solved for what x is. Okay, so now I just need to plug it in. Y equals negative 3x. So y equals negative 3 times 2. Y equals negative 6. So my solution here would be 2, negative 6. You can always check it just like before. Let's see if this works. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Okay? 4 times 2 would be 8 plus y, which is negative 6. So 8 plus negative 6 would be positive 2. So it works. Okay, like I said before, don't get caught up in the names. We just want to solve the system. The goal here is to solve the system. There's more than one way to do it. We could use our substitution method that we just talked about. We could use equal values. We can use what's called elimination. This one's a little trickier. I'm not going to get hung up on that. I just want to solve this system. So let's see. I think the easiest way would be to do the equal values. So I have x minus y equals 2. Okay, so I want to solve for the same variable. Well, this one has a y with no coefficient other than 1. So I think y will be the easiest to solve for. So subtract x from each side. Negative y equals negative x plus 2. Okay, negative y is really negative 1y. So I've got to divide both sides by negative 1 to get y by itself. So y equals, when you divide by negative 1, all you're doing is changing the signs. So positive x minus 2. And then over here, all I have to do is subtract 2x from each side. So I get y equals negative 2x plus 1. For that equation. Now that they're both equal to y, I'm going to set them equal to each other. X minus 2 is equal to 2x plus 1. Okay, I want to get all of the x's on one side, so I'm going to add 2x to each side. 3x minus 2 is equal to 1. Add 2 to each side. 3x equals 3. Divide both sides by 3 because 3x is really 3 times x. And I'm trying to undo that. The opposite of times is divide. So x equals 1. Okay, remember, once we find x, we just plug it in to get y. So pick which one's easier. Which one would be easier to find y? Let's see. X minus y equals 2. 1 minus y equals 2. Okay, so minus 1 from each side. We get negative y equals 1. But we don't want negative y. We want y. So that means we're going to have to divide it by negative 1. So we'll have to come over here. That's okay. Y equals negative 1. So the solution to this system would be 1, negative 1. X is 1, y is negative 1. We can always plug that into check. So 1 minus negative 1. Minus a negative is a plus, so that's positive 2. Very good. 2 times 1 is 2, plus negative 1 would be positive 1. It works. Very good. Okay, let's do another one. This one, I've got minus an x here, plus x here. I think solving for x would be the easiest thing for us to do here. So I'm going to move this over so that we can have plenty of room to work on this problem. Okay, we want to solve for x. So we've got y minus x equals 4. Subtract y from each side. Negative x equals 4 minus y. Divide by negative 1, because negative x is really negative 1x. You got to get x by itself. So x equals negative 4 plus y. Because remember, dividing by a negative, all it does is change the sign. Okay, then over here we have 2y plus x equals 8. Subtract 2y from each side. X equals negative 2y plus 8. Okay, now that we have them both equal to x, we're going to set them equal to each other. So negative 4 plus y equals negative 2y plus 8. Okay, get all of our variables on one side. So we're going to add 2y to each side. Negative 4 plus 3y is equal to 8. Add 4. 3y equals 12. 3y is really 3 times y. So we're going to divide both sides by 3 to undo that. Y equals 4. So now we take what we got for y, and we plug it into one of our equations to get x. Remember, we always go to an original equation because in case we made a mistake here, we would find out. So we have y minus x equals 4. Y is 4, so 4 minus x equals 4. Let's subtract 4 from each side. Negative x equals 0. Well, let's divide by negative 1 because we don't have x yet. X equals, well, 0 divided by anything is 0. So x equals 0. Now, even though we got y first and x second, we still need to write our answer as x comma y. So it's going to be 0, comma 4. So our point of intersection is 0, 4. Let's double check that. If we plugged in 4 for y, 0 for x, 4 minus 0 is 4. That works. Okay, 2 times y, so 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 0 is 8. Very good, it works.